And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, health, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to entertain, educate, enlighten, and most importantly, engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone and save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894. Don't forget our number. We also want you to bookmark our website. It's consumerqb.com. Consumerqb.com. A plethora of resources available for you. Links to all of our expert contributors that we've assembled. Again, over 80 show partners now between our two brands, the Real Estate Quarterback Show and the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we all want to help you win. You know, we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We want to help you win. We want to give you that helicopter view of the marketplace, help you avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our modern-day society, and make you more street smart here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to go around the horn here, make our introductions. In studio, Dr. Kenneth Harris, Tampa Natural Care. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. Today we're going to talk about acupuncture, what it is, how it works, how our acupuncture is trained, and a lot of the issues that acupuncture really works well with.
Excellent. Maybe a little cupping, too. I know it's so topical now because Michael
Phelps. It is blowing up social media, so we'll be happy to talk about that.
Yeah, some of the cupping, and so I got to see a little bit of the Olympics, and I saw him in the pool and had the rings on his back. I said, I know what that's from. Also in studio as well, back in studio, Danny Triplett. He's the owner of Full House Estate Sales, Full House Liquidation, and Appraisals. Back in studio. Welcome back.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. It's always fun to be here, as always. Just want to talk a little bit today about estate sales here in the U.S. versus estate sales in Europe, and talk a little bit about our biggest estate sale coming up in 7 years here in the Bay Area by Tampa International. Talk a little bit about certified written appraisals, what you can do if you're the POA of an estate or an executor of the will. Just kind of give you some advice and some tips.
Excellent. Yeah, with shows like American Pickers, Antiques Roadshow, growing with popularity, and one of my favorite shows as well, the Antiques Roadshow with Mike and Frank, right?
Right.
Great shows, but Danny's locally here doing that, has been doing it for some time now, and he can help you in those areas of estate sales and getting an accurate number when it comes down to, the value of some of your valuables, your antiques, and different personal property that you may have in an estate. So stay with us. We're going to touch on that. I got a couple of hot properties I want to touch on. As you know, I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm the host of the show. I'm also the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. And I want to touch on a couple of hot listings I've got. I got a great business opportunity for you here if you have a restaurant or a business that you're looking to relocate. 8203 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is a great buying opportunity. It's right next to the Alafaya River. It's on a busy corner intersection as well. Commercial property for sale. Great corner location, downtown Riverview. Established restaurant with approximately 2,200 square feet on 0.7 acres. And you've got 30 parking spaces here, so parking is not an issue at 8203 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. Just reduced it over $50,000 down to $599,000 for a great buying opportunity. Also have a vacant lot, the ability to build your own home on a golf course here, over a half-acre lot, golf course lot in Fox Run. It's in Bloomingdale Ridge, 2101 Isle of Palms Drive in Valrico. Great buying opportunity at only $135,000 for a piece of paradise here in Tampa Bay. This segment is brought to you by Michael Vogt. He's an expert massage therapist here in Tampa Bay. Giving a shout out to Michael Vogt, Back in Health Massage, and he's located on 3750 Gun Highway in Tampa Bay. Voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards is Michael Vogt, expert massage therapist, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. And also giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Giving a shout out to the Maids. That's 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. And they are referred for a reason. So we're back here in the studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, and we are your number one consumer advocate Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on 1250 Wins. Also have a weekend show on 102.5 The Bone Sunday mornings, and we have a live stream as well. So if you're watching this show, maybe you're listening to it on your smartphone through the iHeartRadio app, you can also see the live stream. We got these awesome cameras in here in the studio, and we got a television side of it that complements of Tampa Bay Multimedia as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Dr. Ken Harris, Tampa Natural Care, acupuncture and herbal medicine.
Absolutely. I thought it might be interesting to first kind of start off with describing what acupuncture is. And by definition, it's the insertion of small, fine, sterile, solid needles into specific points on the body for the purpose of curing disease, relieving pain, and promoting healing. And I would have to say that acupuncture is probably the best known of the 5 aspects of Oriental medicine. Those other aspects are herbal medicine, and then would be massage therapy, which we call Tuina. I use that a lot with my pediatric patients. Then nutrition therapy, where we use food as medicine. And then also is exercise therapy, such as Tai Chi or Qigong. And you know, as an athlete, that gentle exercise really promotes healing and recuperation in the body.
Yeah, absolutely. It releases those endorphins, those happy cells, right?
Exactly. So those are the 5 pillars of Oriental medicine. There's several adjunct therapies, like I think we're going to talk a little bit about cupping after a while.
Yeah.
You know, acupuncture's been around for over 3,000 years, and in the U.S. there's around 18,000 practitioners.
Very cool. Yeah, I love it. And, you know, and I can personally say, when you go visit Dr. Ken Harris here, located right here in South Tampa, you know, first-class service, first-class doctor. He's going to be real cautious and make sure he's, you know, presenting things. And what's the thing you say when right before you put the needles in? You say you like them sharp and. I forgot the joke. The little joke you said was so funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too, but it's important to know that it doesn't have to hurt to work.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I mean, that's the thing. It's very small needles, but it's interesting because when you think about the body, you know, we're all energy. You know, we're all energy, our bodies, and we've got our partner too that comes on the show from Pranic Healing as well, Charity and Nicole over there at Pranic Healing. But you know, our bodies, it's really a lot about energy.
Very much so. I think, you know, trying to understand how acupuncture works really needs to be looked at, whether you're viewing it through a Western lens or through an Eastern tradition lens.
Right.
You know, actually, they don't really know how acupuncture works. Western science has been researching it for a long time, and they've come up with some very, very good studies, and they understand very well how pain is relieved by acupuncture. But oddly enough, those causes don't explain things like how a point on the foot can turn a breech baby at, say, week 36 or 37.
Wow.
Or a point beneath the knee can increase immune response by causing an increase in white blood cells or T4 leukocytes. So there's a lot left to learn. You know, looking through that Western lens, they might say that acupuncture, the needles as they're inserted cause a microtrauma, and this affects the central nervous system. And that causes the body to produce anti-inflammatories, natural pain relievers. It sends oxygenated blood and healing factors to that location. And they would be right. That's very much how acupuncture works. Mm-hmm. But then through an Eastern lens, they would say that, you know, the systems of our body are all interconnected. So if there's a problem in one system, it can cause a problem in the other.
Right.
And so acupuncture seeks to balance or create homeostasis within those systems by activating the points. And this causes the body either to clear stagnation, expel pathogens. It can reduce excess and strengthen deficiencies. And that's how the body is brought into balance and allowed to heal.
Yeah, it's interesting. And so some of the direct effects would be weight loss, inflammation. What are these areas that we're talking about?
Inflammation. Also, one of the really nice side effects is increased quality of sleep, and that's where most of the healing takes place anyway in the body.
Yeah, the REM sleep, right?
Exactly.
REM sleep, I think it is.
And taking the body out of that fight or flight response to the sympathetic nervous system, and moving it over to that rest and digest parasympathetic system. That's all beneficial to healing as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. It reminds. Well, we're coming into our break. We're going to jump more into this. We're going to talk more from. We're going to talk with Dr. Ken Harris here, Tampa Natural Care, and also we're going to hear from Danny Triplett. He's the owner of Full House Liquidation, Estate Sales, and Appraisals. So when we come back, don't touch that dial. And we also have an interesting story here. Big hopes for Game Changer Community School in Tampa. This is from Channel 10 News. And more from our experts here in studio. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host, Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and we're in studio here, iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida, servicing the whole Gulf Coast region of Florida here as well. And we are talking with Dr. Ken Harris, Tampa Natural Care, and also later in this segment, we're going to hear from Danny Triplett, Full House Liquidation. Before we jump back in this great content, I want to touch on a couple of hot listings that we got just hit the market here with 5722 Tanager Side Road in Lithia, Parkside Village, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath. and it is a 4-3 pool home over 3,200 square feet located in desirable Fishhawks Paradise Village, listed at $459,000. Great buying opportunity, as well as 13235 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 409 in Madeira Beach. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, community pool, and you've always thought about having a beach property, and this one is available at only $239,000. So, honey, pull over the car, pull out your smartphone, send Brandon a text. Let's buy this beautiful beach property here at Madeira Bay Resort 2 Condo, 13235 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 409, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Only $239,000. You walk across Gulf Boulevard, you post your chair up in the sugar sand beaches of Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
Sunny and 75, that's for sure. And our Tampa Bay real estate market is hot. It's very hot, and it's a great buying opportunity. A lot of good things happening. If you're a seller out there, great time to get back into the marketplace and potentially sell your property. You got a lot of investors now looking for duplexes, triplex, quads, apartment complexes, and, of course, single-family homes for, the back-to-school time and folks transferring jobs. But let's go ahead back to Dr. Ken Harris here, Tampa Natural Care, and we're talking a little bit about when we think about acupuncture, I think it's important to talk about, how it works, how to break it down a little bit for our listeners out there.
Exactly. And, we were talking about how Western science and Eastern tradition kind of views it differently, and the language is very different. It's much like the story of the 3 blind men, each examining an elephant and describing from their point of view what it was. Each of them was correct in their point of view, but ultimately it's still an elephant. There's a acupuncturist out in California, Matthew Bowers, very good acupuncturist, and he had an interesting view on the medicine in that he described it as an outside-in and an inside-out medicine. He had said that Western medicine uses strong man-made resources to take over for the body and repair it from the outside in, much like the way a mechanic works on a vehicle. And the opposite point of view, that Eastern tradition view, is the medicine seeks to strengthen the body's natural healing response. Basically, none of us ever get 100% out of our bodies at all the time. You being an athlete, I'm sure you had days that were spectacular and days that weren't so good.
Right.
And at work, you have days where you're right on and other days you can't find your car keys.
Right.
So, well, the body's very much like that with its healing response. For example, a diabetic patient might have more difficulty recovering from a cut than, say, a non-diabetic. And that's a result of the disease affecting the body's ability to heal itself. Acupuncture seeks to add that extra bit to help the body bring it closer to 100%, and that's the purpose of it. And so, kind of in a nutshell, that's how acupuncture affects the body.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I like that idea of inside out versus outside in, and you have, isn't it interesting? I know we have this big planet Earth here, right? And you got an eastern side and a western side, and just the way that it affects, and the way that it. When you look at governmental regulations and the FDA, and of course they're kind of somewhat anti, the general nutrition stores and the vitamin stores and herbs, they put right there in the bottle. This was not by the FDA. So it kind of leads people to think, oh, wow, well, this, maybe I do need more drugs from my doctor. I think we're over-medicated as a society as it is.
Well, both forms of medicine are very, very effective. From what I've seen for my years of practice, is that the truth is if they were combined, it would tremendously benefit the patient.
Great point.
Each one has its strengths and its weaknesses, both Eastern medicine and Western biomedicine.
Yeah.
I always think of Western biomedicine as that heroic medicine, save your life, when it's hanging by a thread. But with chronic disease, they can really not offer as much. Usually it's a pharmaceutical solution or surgery.
Right.
Eastern medicine is very, very good, of handling chronic disease. And that's why I think if they were combined, if that ever happens, it'd really, really benefit the people.
It's interesting you say that too, is my girlfriend's actually studying this, but it's also what I mentioned earlier, one of our partners for the quarterback show is the Pranic Healing Yoga and Wellness Center right there on Racetrack Road in Oldsmar, right next to the Oldsmar Flea Market. But they've got a really cool setup over there, yoga and some of the different types of pranic healing. And it was interesting. Nicole actually moved from South Africa. Over in South Africa, they kind of do what you had just alluded to. Whenever they have these pranic healers working next side to traditional medicine. So when somebody's getting ready for a surgery, they're actually in there clearing the energy and working with the energy body and the chakras.
That's excellent. Excellent.
Yep.
I think it's very much a continuum. I think you should always be conservative with your patients. You treat enough to get the efficacy and the end result that you're seeking.
Yep.
You don't have to start with surgery, but surgery is always maybe there as an option if things have to proceed to it.
Right.
So you stay open-minded and treat the person in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Dr. Ken Harris, Tampa Natural Care, acupuncture, herbal medicine, located conveniently right here in South Tampa. What's the road you're on there again?
203 South Moody is where I'm located.
South Moody, 203 South Moody, conveniently located. And I want to go ahead and bring Danny Triplett into the conversation here. Full House Liquidation, estate sales, and appraisal. Longtime partner of the show and expert contributor here. So got a big one coming up, you said, right?
Oh, we do. Yeah, we have a huge one, our biggest one in 7 years coming up. It's
nice.
Exciting. A lot of work. I think I was listening to you talk about health over there, and I might actually need to see you.
Yeah.
My back is aching from yesterday, boy. This property we're working on has 20 shipping containers, the big 40-foot ones. We'll actually be selling the containers, but they're full of stuff too. And we're going through them, and I'm climbing back in there and digging, and you're twisting your body. And the work of an estate liquidator is not easy work. There's a lot of pain involved.
Yeah, pain,
but,
moving stuff around. And
mental and
inventory.
physical sometimes. But it's a fun business nonetheless. It's kind of an exciting business. It's like treasure hunting,
Yeah.
We're talking about, when you're a little kid, you think about Christmas time, and that's how a lot of shoppers are. They don't know what's in these estates. They see the pictures that we put out as teasers, but who knows what all's there. Yeah. And so it's an exciting, estate sales are exciting, for the shoppers. But then there's the flip side of the coin. Like in the chapter I wrote with the book you had, I talked about, the consumer, the people, the clients of ours, which are usually the families who are selling the home. What do we do with all this stuff in the house?
Right.
And the book, Real Estate Quarterback. What's it?
Consumer Advocate Playbook. Danny's got a chapter
yeah.
here. It's on Amazon. But
the consumers, what it's really all about when it boils down to it, they're the ones listening to the show, that might have a house that they want to put on the market, or they have a house of a loved one that they want to put on the market. They're the executor of the will or the POA that's in charge of the estate. What do I do with all this stuff? A lot of times that's the question. We're just simply asked, what do we do with all this stuff? It's, oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of times when it boils down to it, families don't know what they have. They look at the stuff in the house. They take out the personal things, the effects that remind them of their loved one. They don't know what to do with the rest of the stuff. And we've talked in the past about, how some people will try to do it on their own. They'll just have a yard sale or they'll just donate it all. Or they'll bring in a big dumpster. I've had clients tell me, well, I was planning on paying to bring in a big dumpster and we were just going to toss it all. And we talked to them and explained to them, well, instead of spending money, how about we put money back in your pocket? And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, they're flabbergasted at the checks that we give them in the end for the value. A lot of times people think that, we meet with families and they're like, well, I don't know if we have enough valuables or we have enough, big ticket items. And I said, an estate sale is not just going in and selling your high-end collectibles. An estate sale is selling everything from the half-empty bottle of palm olive under the sink to the fine art on the wall, to your car, to a screwdriver in the garage. We sell anything and everything, and it adds up fast. Families don't realize a lot of times the value, the total value that's in their homes. I know I talked to my parents recently. We were sitting around the table eating dinner, and just, they were like, well, what do you think the contents of our estate is worth? And so, it's fun to talk about those kind of things and just kind of get an idea of, the value. People a lot of times don't realize what value they have in the home.
Yeah, absolutely. And Danny, you can get on his list as well. If you're a buyer, you have fun checking this out. You can get on his email list. I think you've got close to 2,000 or 3,000 people on this list, right? And
Absolutely.
He'll let you know about it. So text Full House to our hotline, full house liquidation or estate sales to 813-917-1894 if you want to get put on his buyer list and just find out about, things happening in the Tampa Bay market, where these estate sales are, all the way up from Dade City down south as well. And he does a lot of estate sales, and you can find some really cool stuff, kind of a treasure hunt, as he said. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. When we come back, we're going to talk with Dr. Ken Harris here, Tampa Natural Care, more from Danny Triplett. He's the owner of Full House Liquidation, estate sales, and appraisals. Also can help you get appraisals on these household items in the estate sales. So you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes, Real Estate Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. Want to give a shout out to our accounting partner as well, Brace Accounting. Shout out to Ronald Brace over at Brace Accounting and his team, Tom Oleski as well. And also Florida Firearms Academy with Kevin Wild over at Florida Firearms Academy. They do a great job educating our consumers around concealed permit carries and ways that you can defend yourself in this crazy world we live in here. So give a shout out to Brace Accounting and Florida Firearms Academy right there in Oldsmar, Florida. And before we jump back in this great content, I got a couple of hot listings here. I got 414 South Royal Palm Way in Tampa. It's actually on the cover of Homes and Land magazine this month. Beautiful beach park property, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, over 4,800 square foot living, and reduced the price down to $1.195 million. Distinguished South Tampa home, beach park property, and steps away from Swan Park. Spanish architecture, huge backyard, fenced-in backyard with a beautiful estate-style pool. And that property is actually going to be on a major national televised TV show next month as well as myself and one of our other properties as well. Pretty cool stuff. It's going to be on a big major network. Can't say exactly, but something like a HGTV, DIY, A&E, something like that. And then also have 4618 West Beach Park Drive in Tampa. Beach Park property, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 1 half bath. And it is a delightful Cape Cod style pool home and desirable beach park, listed at $785,000. We just did a price reduction on this one, down from $799,000 to $785,000. Over 2,556 square feet heated. Beautiful buying opportunity right here in 33609, one of the most desirable areas in all of Tampa Bay. All right, we're talking estate sales with shows like American Pickers and Antiques Roadshow gaining popularity and very popular shows. We have a local expert right here in Tampa Bay, Danny Triplett, owner of Full House Liquidation, estate sales and appraisals, and he's got a big estate sale coming up here, the biggest he's had in 7 years.
7 years,
coming up, 20 containers full of awesome, antique style. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's an interesting estate. It's adjacent to the Tampa International Airport. Looks like they probably might be buying the property eventually, but once we're done. But it's a interesting property. There's a home full of antiques. The family's lived there for years and years and years. I don't know, since the early 50s the home was built. There's 6 vehicles. There's I think it's a 66 Corvair, a Carmen Ghia inside one of the containers. There's 20 shipping containers. They're each 40-foot long. We'll be selling those. Wow. There's 2 motorcycles. I think they're vintage Suzukis.
You're selling the shipping containers?
Oh, we're selling the actual shipping containers.
That's cool. That's kind of a niche in real estate now. Have you seen this?
Yeah, they turn them into houses.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And some of them, I mean, some of them have been there for a long, long time. Out of the 20, I'd say there's about 5 of them that probably aren't that great a shape. But the 3/4 of them are in good shape. Sealed up, good, solid containers. I mean, they have stuff in them, but as far as no leaks, things like that. But yeah, we'll be actually selling the shipping containers. We've reached out to some of the haulers just to kind of get an idea of price, what it costs to haul them. I think they charge about $100 an hour to move these things. They load them up pretty quick. They do it all the time. So we've got it's a big estate. There's a lot of antiques. If you're looking to come to estate sales, this one's packed. I mean, it's vintage, everything you can imagine. I mean, everything from I think we have the oldest trunk we have there is from 1843. Old, like a treasure chest looking thing. Yeah. And there's several trunks. We've got I don't know. There's lots and lots of die-cast cars. He was a huge die-cast toy collector. We've probably got hundreds, probably 500 of those. I wouldn't. Wow. That's like a low number. There's coins, there's jewelry, everything you can imagine. 70 years worth of stuff just left here in this estate. Family came, they took some things, of course, but it's just an enormous amount of things they've collected over the years. So it's going to be a huge estate sale coming up. We're shooting for September 1st as a start date.
Nice.
We're hoping to be ready by then. We're going to run it over Labor Day weekend. It is a holiday weekend, but it's sunny Tampa. People are not necessarily leaving the Bay Area. Maybe they're coming in on vacation or whatever, visit relatives. We're hoping for a big turnout. Of course, the weather's an issue, with the rain and everything, but we've got some backup dates. Yeah, get there early. Yeah, we have huge turnouts. This one will probably be, no doubt, our biggest one ever as far as a turnout. I know back in February we had a huge one that you helped us with up in, as far as the house, up in Spring Hill. That morning, there had to have been 250 people easy there. It was a huge line down the street of people as far as you could see. This one's, I'm sure, going to be bigger. There's a lot more here. Tools, oh my goodness. If you want tools, there are containers full of tools. I'm talking brand new tools. These guys were hoarders in a good sense of good stuff. I don't know why, but now, and speaking of hoarding, clothes. I've seen women who would go out and just shopaholics and buy clothes and clothes and clothes with brand new tags on them. I've done houses like that where there's just thousands of items of clothes with brand new tags on them that they just buy and buy and buy and never even wear. These guys had clothes, boxes full of shoes, brand new shoes never worn, clothes never worn, tags still on them. And if people sometimes ask us, do you bring this stuff in? Are you getting this stuff and bringing it in? I'm like, no, we never do that. Honestly,
people buy. They'd love to spend money.
They do.
Some people get in that mood. We've moved so far away from our parents' generation of at least saving 10% or saving some money. So many people are they get money, they go out, they shop, they spend it, and like you said, they might not even wear that shirt.
True.
But they wanted it. Right. They paid full retail. If you can reach out to Danny, you can pick it up.
Good deals. That's
cost.
Right. Yeah. Estate sales, it's funny. Estate sales and auctions, sometimes we kind of are like enemies. I guess you'd say auctions. where people bid on stuff at an auction, we're not like that. Auctions, you can get great deals at auctions also because they have one day usually. You go in, you bid. If you're the highest bidder, you got it. Estate sales, we price the items, we research it, and we do price, up here, say the price. We let you negotiate, but we run for 3 or 4 days. And this one will probably run longer than that, but we come down each day, a certain percentage, so people have the opportunity to get these things at a good deal. We linger. We make it linger so that, they have that urgency. Okay, well, it might not be here tomorrow. Somebody else might come in and get it. So it's good for the homeowner who owns this stuff because we can get top dollar, or not top dollar, but we can get a lot more money than you can say at a yard sale trying to do it yourself. I mean, a lot of we know what the things are worth, so we're going to go in there, we spend the time, put the correct prices on things. Whereas at a yard sale, I mean, if this, like for instance, if this estate, if they were to try to run it for themselves, talking with the family, they think it's, obviously just a bunch of junk. They don't realize that, the value of everything in there. But we realize that, and we've told them there's a lot of value here. I mean, a lot of value here. And to just let somebody walk in and just haul it off for nothing would be a shame. So we come in, we price it competitively, and sell it. We get it sold.
Absolutely. It's a win-win. So if you're a buyer, there's ways that you can have fun and go check this stuff out. Look at these awesome inventory that Danny has. And then also if you're a seller, if you're on the side of selling, he can help you maximize, a situation where maybe you had a death from a loved one with an estate sale. And, obviously we can help you sell the asset as well as far as the real estate goes. More from Danny in a minute. I want to go ahead and switch gears back to Dr. Ken Harris here, Tampa Natural Care. And, we're all watching the Olympics right now, Doc, and I look at it and it was interesting. Michael Phelps getting into the pool and he's got these big rings on his back. Dark, what caused that?
Oh, those are cupping marks.
Yeah.
And cupping is a very, very old therapy. It's been around for thousands of years. It's practiced by all cultural groups and almost all continents on the world. So it's really not new. It's just kind of new to us. But I suspect that if you talk to your grandparents about it, they'd be able to tell you about it. And but cupping is the ability to put a glass jar onto the skin, and it creates a vacuum inside. And what it does exactly is we're most familiar with treating pain, but it also treats cough, colds, fever, asthma, and anxiety are the things I commonly use it with. Today, it's mostly used by acupuncture physicians, massage therapists, and physical therapists. So it's fairly common therapy that's used. There's really 2 types of cupping. There's static cupping and moving cupping. The static cupping is after the vacuum's created and it's onto skin. It's left there between 1 minute and 15 minutes possibly. And then on running cupping, liniment or an ointment is put on the skins, and then the cups are actually moved up and down the skin. So, for example, along the paraspinal muscles besides the spine.
Wow, that
feels very much like a deep, very deep massage.
That sounds interesting.
So a lot of people like that one.
Yeah. But doesn't it also help with the myofascia?
Well, that's exactly how it works. What happens is to create the vacuum, a lot of times we'll take a glass cup and we'll swish a flame inside to warm up the air, and then we put it quickly onto the skin.
Right.
Well, as the skin cools, it creates a vacuum, and that's called fire cupping. Well, the other way they do it is a glass cup that has a little one-way valve on the top, so you apply it to skin. You can use a handheld pump to create that vacuum. Both of them work equally well.
Interesting.
But, after they're on, what happens is it draws the skin slightly up into the cup, pulls it away from adhesion, scar tissue, and away from the other fascia in the body, and that allows fresh blood to come in. Okay. As we had talked about before, that fresh blood has the healing factors and oxygenated blood coming in with it, and pain reduced. So it really kicks off that healing response.
Interesting. Yeah, I love it. And for more information, visit our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, as well as check out our YouTube page. Got a lot of great content on our YouTube page, our YouTube channel there. REQB Show, Real Estate Quarterback Show. Search my name, Brandon Rhymes. You'll find it. And, stay with us. We're going to come into our lightning round, where we're going to give you top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Dr. Ken Harris, Tampa Natural Care. Danny Triplett, Full House Estate Sales, and we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Real Estate Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP Realty, published author, professional speaker as well. I'd love to come into your organization and talk to your sales force, maybe talk to some of the youth as well. I'd love to go into some colleges and talk to the different youths and talk about things happening and some of the focuses being on, personal development, ways that you can overcome limiting beliefs, ways that you can live a better life through personal development and investing back in yourself. Holding up our book here as well, we got the Consumer Advocate Playbook here, the Real Estate Quarterback's Consumer Advocate Playbook, available on Amazon as well as some other sites as well. And we'd love for you to pick up a copy, check it out, like it, share it, review it. We really appreciate that as well. And if you, the first caller that calls in, we'll give you a free copy of the book at 813-917-1894. You can call or text 813-917-1894 for a free copy of the Consumer Quarterback book.
Welcome to my house.
All right, got a couple of hot listings here. I got 8211 Brent Street, unit number 838 in Port Richey. This is a great buying opportunity. Sand Pebble Point condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Community pool. You've got a boat dock over there as well. Store your boat. And it's a condominium that has a beautiful Gulf view of the intercoastal waterways, 1,692 square feet, listed at $389,000. Great buying opportunity. Completely updated property. As well as 18158 Canal Point Street in Tampa, Heritage Isles Golf Community. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, community pool, and a great buying opportunity here. Almost 1,400 square feet, listed at $179,000, and it's a great rental property as well. If you'd like to be an investor and rent this thing out, great opportunity to do that. And so we're back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, and I want to talk to you about our branding package. We have an on-air branding package that we're offering business owners. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and or know someone who is, we'd love to talk to you about our on-air branding package. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to bring you on our show. We're going to create video content for you, what we like to call our legacy content, that you can then repurpose throughout your website, social media accounts, and more. Also, invites to our monthly gratitude parties. By the way, we have a party coming up, pool party, and you're all invited over to Hula Bay. We got a pool party there at Hula Bay on the 27th, Saturday the 27th, 12 noon. And also you have an opportunity to become a published author in the next edition of our Consumer Playbook, and introductions to any of our past or present guests on the show, social media, website, blogging, press releases to promote you and help you grow your business, as well as upcoming live events and special events as well. So that's our on-air branding package, available for the Consumer Quarterback Show or the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And we want you to reach out, 813-917-1894, or our website, consumerqb.com. All right, so we're going to jump into our lightning round here. All right, the lightning round. Top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Dr. Ken Harris, you're up first, sir.
How to get the most out of your acupuncture treatment. Number one, turn off your cell phone.
Right.
That's your time. Don't let anybody take it away from you.
Right. I love that. Yeah, turn it off. I enjoy it as well. As I mentioned, I went down. I kind of look at it as a time for meditation. Time to just really slow things down, meditate, focus on your affirmations. If you're that type of person that does affirmations or incantations, you can do them. As you're lying there and you have the acupuncture going on. So,
it's all good.
It's all good. Absolutely. Danny Triplett, Full House Liquidation.
I just wanted to say, if you are the POA or you're the executor of a will and you're handling an estate, 9 times out of 10, I say that because that's who we are dealing with these estates that we handle. If you need a certified written appraisal on the contents of the home, usually the court's going to require that. Contact us, let us know. We can give you a certified written appraisal on those items, whether it be 1 item, 2 items, a whole entire house full of items. We just did one recently for a lot of coins and toys and antiques. So just let us know. We can give you a certified written appraisal. It's something that you're going to probably have to do anyway if you're the POA or if it's in probate. Just let us know. We can help you out.
Excellent. Yeah, love that. And consumer tips is to be careful of these scams out there. There's a lot of different scams we talked about on yesterday's show. There's a new scam talking about these companies. Duke Energy is warning Tampa Bay customers about the latest scam. So be careful. There's also Craigslist scams around real estate. So we want to help you avoid these types of things that are happening. So just be real careful. Be cognizant of what you're doing out there. A lot of times these Craigslist scams, what they will do is they'll pose a property. They'll take listing pictures from one of my listings, for example, and they'll post it on Craigslist as a rental. And then a property that would typically rent for around $2,200, they might list it as $1,200. So it looks to be a great deal. And then they'll try to make this urgent appeal to you to say, hey, you got to mail the deposit check in either to a P.O. box, or the latest scammer that actually got caught. She met the folks at the home and took their money deposit wise, and didn't actually own the home. She just basically had a key made and was pretending to be the owner. So luckily she got caught. They found her. She just happened to bump into the person at a gas station and said, wow, that's the person. Got the tag number, called the sheriff's department. Boom, got him. So the bad guy got it right there, and they said, come on. So, all right, let's do another round here. Top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Dr. Kenneth Harris, Tampa Natural Care, Acupuncture, and Herbal Medicine.
Wear loose, comfortable clothes to your appointment. Make it easy on the acupuncturist to find the areas they need to needle. Those tight jeans really look good, but it doesn't help out for the acupuncture. So you can't go wrong with shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, the skinny jeans get out of the way.
Yeah, they do. Look good, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny?
I would say, and I say time and time again, we're here to help you. That's one of our mottos in our brochures that we give to each family is we're here to alleviate that burden. 9 times out of 10, again, if it's a loss of a loved one in the family, you're going through a hard time, we're there to make it easy for you. We do everything from start to finish. We don't want you to have to lift a finger and do anything. It's a turnkey solution from start to finish. We try to alleviate that burden from the consumer so that they don't have to deal with anything during an already trying time. We come in and handle everything from garbage removal to appraising the items to selling the items during a 3-day estate sale or whatever it might be. So we're here for you to make the job easier for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And big kudos out to Full House Liquidation Estate Sales. Get on their mailer, find out where their next event's at. And we got one coming up on September 1st. We talked about where they have a huge estate sale by the airport in Tampa. Okay, so I'm going to take the next minute or so and talk about Napoleon Hill. For all my business owners out there, all of our entrepreneurs, students, this applies to a lot of people, and it is the number one success strategy of Napoleon Hill. As you know, he did a 25-year study into the 500 best and the brightest. Went and interviewed 500 of the best and brightest business owners, and he talked to Edison, he talked to Carnegie, he talked to Ford, Firestone, Rockefeller, all these folks, right? And so last line of his book, the number one master key to riches and success, the power of self-discipline. He says, with it, everything works. Without it, nothing works. It's the ability to make yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. Okay, so that's self-discipline. That's the definition, and that's how you're going to make yourself successful, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a student. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it, but you got to make yourself do it. And once you do, you're going to build this momentum up. You're going to have momentum. Now you're going to reinforce other areas of self-discipline as well. Maybe it's a diet, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's monetary. But also Dr. Edward Banfield, he's a sociologist from Harvard. He did a study as well, and to why people move up and move up the socioeconomics scale. And he said it's all about sacrifice. He said time perspective. People, when you make a decision, whenever you have a long time perspective, the longer you look into the future when making decisions versus planning on results and productivity versus something that feels good now in the present tense, going to happy hour after work, eating that dessert before dinner. Those are the things that are going to cost you to potentially not move up the economic. And the great Jim Rohn has a great quote here: discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. So focus on what you want. Another quick round here. Top consumer tips. Go ahead, sir.
Well, after treatment, realize that the treatment's still going on. It can take up to 24 hours for it to settle into the body.
Yep.
So be good to yourself. You can continue with your normal day, but we ask that you don't do any heavy exertion or exercise for a few hours after.
That's right. Fuel up too, right? Water.
Absolutely.
Lots of water. Danny, nuggets of advice.
I would say go through the home, look through the drawers, open the cabinets, look for anything you can find that might be value, so that, because we do the same thing after you go through the home, we go through the home and try to find those things, because if we don't find them and you don't find them, somebody else is going to find them when they come through that house. Now, we have security, we have guards, we have people like that at the sales, but we can't watch every nook and cranny of it inside of a house when we have a crowd there. So people will steal stuff, regardless. There's people out there like that. So go through the home, look through everything you can, go in the attic, look everywhere, open everything you can, look behind dressers.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to urge you to utilize our local vendors here. Shop local. We are a consumer advocate. Shop local. Be reaching out. We have great mortgage lenders on our team. We have title, over 80 different show partners now with our 2 shows. So we want you to shop local. Reach out to us, consumerqb.com. And I want to thank Dr. Ken Harris and Danny Triplett for coming in the studio today, educating our listeners out there. I want to thank our team behind the scenes as well, everybody putting the hard work into helping us grow this show and everything that we've done so far and all the great things to come. And I want you to go out there and please consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time, same time and place.